A polynomial is a monomial or the sum or difference of monomials. And a monomial would be considered a term like x or 6.5. And so we're looking at the sum or difference of those, or we could even have x squared. So a binomial is the sum of two monomials. So for an example, we have x squared plus 3. On a binomial, we can also have the difference of monomials as well. So I could have an example of x cubed minus 6. And a trinomial is the sum of three monomials or the difference. And an example of that would be like x squared plus 2x plus 6. Determine whether each expression is a polynomial, and if it is, determine whether it is a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial. So for our first example, we have 4y minus 5x times y times z. And so this is a polynomial, and it is considered a binomial because I have two terms. So this 4y is a term, and the negative 5xyz is a term. 6.5 is a polynomial, and it is a monomial because I only have one term. C is no because I have a negative exponent, and remember that a negative exponent means I take that reciprocal, so it would really have a division term. So it's not that sum or difference of a monomial. And then on D, we have a polynomial. This is considered yes, and it will be considered a trinomial because 6x cubed plus 4x plus x plus 3 can be simplified to 6x cubed plus 5x plus 3. So then I would have three terms, because remember that a 4x plus an x would equal 5x. When talking about degrees, we have a degree of a polynomial or a monomial is the sum of the exponents of all of its variables. So we're looking at the sum of the exponents of its variables. So let's look at the exponents of this example. We have x to the first power, and then we have y to the fifth, and then z to the first power. So then I'm just going to add my exponents. So I have 1 plus 1, 5, plus 1, and that's going to equal 7. So this monomial is a degree of 7. When I look at the degrees of polynomials, I'm looking at the greatest degree of any term in the polynomial. So it doesn't matter which term I am looking at. So I have the term 3a squared times b cubed plus 6. Well, the greatest degree is this 3 right here. So the degree of this polynomial is 3. We're going to write each polynomial in standard form. And standard form means that I'm going to write the polynomial from the greatest degree to the least. So I look at 3x squared plus 5x, or 4x to the fifth, minus 7x. And the greatest degree is this term, the 4x to the fifth, because that exponent is the highest. And I'm just going to write 4x to the fifth, and then I'm going to cross that one off because I already used that term, and then I have plus 3x squared, because a squared is higher than the negative 7x. And then I'm just left with that negative 7x. So I'm going to bring that down. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. So my highest degree is this negative 2y to the fourth. So I have negative 2y to the fourth. I'm going to cross that one off. And then I look for my next highest degree, and I have a minus 6y cubed. And then I'm left with the 5y, and then the negative 9. And that's a positive 5y, so I'm going to have plus 5y. And if you start to notice, the constants are always the last term when writing a polynomial in standard form. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two examples on your own. For our first example, I'm going to have 4x to the fourth minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 8. And it's a little helpful tool to always cross off your terms as you're working so that you know that you've already written that term. So you're starting off with your greatest and you're going all the way down to your least degree term. For this second example, we're going to have negative 7y to the sixth. And then we have plus 5y cubed minus 2y squared plus y plus 10. And now I have all my terms from greatest to least, so they are officially in standard form.